The grift never sleeps in modern American politics, and critics say the Trump universe has simply found a new engine to keep it humming. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to my channel. I hope everyone is having a nice day. Before we begin the video, please subscribe and give the video a thumbs up. Artificial intelligence, outrage emails, and a constant sense of manufactured emergency. As Donald Trump campaigns once again on the familiar promise of saving the nation, a growing chorus of watchdogs and digital ethics experts argue that the latest fundraising tactics represent a sharp escalation rather than a reinvention. The result is a flood of AI-driven emails designed to look personal, urgent, and emotionally manipulative, all while keeping small-dollar donors locked into a cycle of fear, loyalty, and relentless giving. According to analysts who track political fundraising trends, Trump-aligned committees have increasingly leaned into automated systems that mimic personal outreach. These emails address supporters by name, reference supposed past donations or engagement, and frame each message as a last stand against shadowy enemies. The tone is intimate and alarming at once, warning recipients that democracy will fall or the movement will collapse unless they act immediately. Critics say the ethical problem is not merely automation but deception, as many recipients believe the messages are personally written by Trump or his inner circle rather than generated en masse by AI-assisted software. The outrage is amplified by the sheer volume. Some supporters report receiving multiple emails per day, each escalating the stakes and promising dire consequences if donations slow. Consumer advocates argue this creates a psychological pressure cooker, particularly for older Americans who may not fully understand how AI-generated messaging works. In this view, the line between enthusiastic fundraising and predatory manipulation has been blurred to the point of invisibility, all in service of keeping cash flowing to a political brand that thrives on perpetual crisis. What makes the controversy even louder is the disconnect between the messaging and reality. While the emails paint Trump as a persecuted outsider fighting the system with limited resources, public filings continue to show massive sums moving through Trump-aligned entities. Legal bills, luxury travel, and high-end consultants remain part of the financial picture, fueling accusations that the grassroots image is little more than a carefully maintained illusion. For critics, the AI email scheme is simply the latest chapter in a long-running story where outrage is monetized and loyalty is treated as a renewable resource. As the Trump fundraising machine draws scrutiny, J.D. Vance has ignited his own firestorm with rhetoric that many observers describe as extreme even by modern standards. A recent speech, now circulating widely in clipped and reshared form online, featured language about children, sacrifice, and national decline that critics say crossed from cultural grievance into something far darker. While supporters insist Vance was speaking metaphorically about societal decay and the cost of moral failure, opponents argue the imagery was reckless, inflammatory, and tailor-made to provoke fear. The phrase child sacrifice, in particular, has become a lightning rod. In a political environment already saturated with conspiracy theories and apocalyptic thinking, many listeners recoiled at the invocation of such language by a sitting U.S. senator. Social media platforms erupted as commentators accused Vance of flirting with rhetoric that echoes extremist narratives, even if unintentionally. For parents and educators, the concern was not only what Vance meant, but how such words could be interpreted and weaponized by bad actors eager to stoke moral panic. Vance's defenders quickly moved to contextualize the remarks, arguing that critics were acting in bad faith and deliberately stripping away nuance. They say the speech was an emotional appeal about the future, meant to shock audiences into recognizing what Vance views as cultural rot. Yet the backlash underscores a growing problem for the Republican brand. The line between provocative messaging and reputational damage is thinner than ever, especially when sound bites travel faster than explanations. Together, the Trump fundraising controversy and the Vance speech reveal a broader pattern shaping the political moment. Outrage is not a side effect, but the core strategy. Emotional extremes, whether fear of collapse or horror-laced imagery, are used to command attention in an oversaturated media landscape. AI technology simply accelerates this dynamic, allowing campaigns to personalize panic at industrial scale, while candidates lean into ever more dramatic language to stay relevant. For voters watching from the sidelines, the effect can be exhausting and disorienting. Each new controversy blurs into the next, making it difficult to separate genuine policy debate from spectacle. Critics warn that when politics becomes an endless feedback loop of fear and fundraising, democratic engagement is reduced to a transactional relationship. Citizens are no longer asked to deliberate or participate, only to react and donate. Ethics experts argue that the AI email issue should spark serious conversations about regulation and transparency. If political campaigns are allowed to deploy advanced automation without clear disclosure, the potential for abuse is enormous. At the same time, the uproar over Vance's language raises questions about accountability in political speech. When leaders use imagery that resonates with conspiracy-laden corners of the internet, even accidentally, the consequences ripple far beyond a single rally or news cycle. The Trump-Vance moment is not just about two figures and two controversies. It reflects a system that rewards the loudest voice, the most alarming headline, and the quickest emotional hit. As long as outrage continues to generate donations, clicks, and airtime, there is little incentive for restraint. That reality leaves many Americans wondering whether the future of political discourse will be shaped by ideas and solutions, or by algorithms, provocation, and the endless monetization of fear.